And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the first qualifier here of the CarQuest MASCAR Tour 1999. We're coming to you from Oyster Bed Raceway here in beautiful Prince Edward Island. It's been a beautiful day here all day. The sun's been shining. We've had great luck here in all 5 races this year. We've had plenty of sunshine. We haven't had to postpone any races or any extra book work because I don't know if they were prepared or wouldn't know what to do anyway, probably. I don't know. But these guys at MASCAR have been doing a great job here. And we must mention also the people here at Oyster Bed Raceway Track have treated us here at TVMB quite well, and we'd like to thank them a great bunch because they've done a great job here for us. And we get the green flag for the first qualifier here for the MASCAR Tour 1999 as we go into turn number 1. Dave Pierce has the lead once again as he did in the dash, but does he get to hang on to it? We'll have to wait and see. And I'm joined again by Al Robinson, a MASCAR official.
Well, Barry, it just looks like a repeat. We got the 21, Dave Pierce, and the 17 of Dave Potter going to go at it. Dave Pierce is kind of stretching it out there right now, and the 99 of Greg Seward following but number 3.
Obviously, that little break that he had in between the dash and the qualifier, he's fine-tuned things just a little bit. Possibility of tightening up the suspension a little bit maybe there, or loosening it up one or the other, but he has really opened up about a 3-car lead going down the backstretch going into turn number 3 as they start to bunch up a little bit. Bobby White takes it up high and coming into turn number 4. He's a little loose there or not.
Well, Dave's letting the car run the track right now. You let the car move up off the line, let it run where it wants to go itself. No worry when you got a lead like that of protecting the low side.
We got a yellow flag. We got a yellow flag out on the track right now as Junior Kelly, and as the dust clears here, we'll see who he got into a little entanglement there with. Not sure who it was. It looks like, I can't really tell. Can you see, Al?
I can't see it either. No, the 88 of Chris Hughes from right here in Charlottetown.
Okay, there we go. Now we got that clear.
Both of them don't appear to have any kind of damage, and they're pulling up at the back of the pack.
No, they actually got a little loose into turn number 1 there and kind of both went sideways and just kind of steered into the infield. I don't think any damage was done there or anything like that, but it looked like the 88 car of Kevin Moore. Is it Kevin Moore?
No, it's Chris Hughes.
Chris Hughes, okay. Looked like he got a little loose there, and Junior Kelly had no other choice but to swing along with him to avoid a crash, which was pretty good driving by Junior there for the fellow who hasn't driven in about 6 years. So competitively driven, obviously, but he probably played around a little bit with the car, obviously, to get ready for today.
Well, the 88 car of Chris Hughes has been a MASCAR regular for the last 4 or 5 years. And this is his first time out tonight, the first race he's taken in this year because of work commitments. So it's really good to see Chris back on board, and we certainly wish them the best of luck tonight.
And like some of our cars out here, well, not too many out in this qualifier, but Chris Hughes does have a lot of room on there if anybody's interested in sponsoring a driver. As you see the number 21 car also, Dave Pierce, he's got a lot of room there. And it's a great chance for some of you parts dealers or anybody else that would like to throw some advertisement out there, because a lot of people attend these races each and every week. And if you're in an area where you can watch a race, definitely get out to the nearest track and take in a race, because it's a lot of fun and it's a growing sport. It's in the Telegraph Journal just recently in New Brunswick, they wrote an article on it and they said it's a very, very large growing sport around the Maritimes, and I enjoy watching it, and I know you must too, Al, or you wouldn't be involved in it.
Well, I've been involved with MASCAR since day one, as a car owner, as a member of the executive. I've run the tech. I guess I've done pretty near everything with MASCAR except for announce. So this is a new end for me tonight, the TV side, and I'm enjoying myself. And I guess anytime I can get out to the races and see a race, I always enjoy the rubber and the smell of the gasoline, the racing fuel. It's a great feeling, and has the adrenaline running right through you.
If you're going to do some track announcing, you got some pretty big shoes to fill up there with that big cowboy hat, I'll tell you, right up there in front of us. And by that I mean you people have seen Ken Packham every once in a while. He does some intros with me, and he does a few interviews, and he's been a great help for us, as long as you, Al. We really appreciate that. But as I said, that's some pretty big shoes to fill there, and you're going to have to really unseat a big fellow there to take that job over.
I'm not even applying for his job, Barry. He can have that. Ken Packham, without a doubt, is by far the best motorsports announcer in Atlantic Canada, and maybe in all of Canada. Might point out that he does work for the Raceline show out of Ontario. I'm ready to go green again.
And Rick Steves flashes the green flag as we go back to racing down into turn number 1. Dave Potter sticking his nose out there, seeing if he could take the lead. But once again, Dave Pierce down the back straight stretch into turn number 3, takes the lead. Right behind him is Greg Seward. It's a battle between Dave Potter and Greg Seward for second place.
Might point out, Barry, that the top 6 cars go on to the preferred starting positions in the main event. So every spot on that track right now counts. It counts for points in the racing towards the season end, total points, and it also is qualifying positions. So those guys are serious about what they're doing out there. Oh, the 99 and the 21 just got together.
Oh boy.
What a great job the spotters just did. What a great job. These MASCAR cars are all have radios in the cars, and they have crew members that are up on the bank, up here in the backside by the pits, and each one of those guys are spotters are in radio contract with these cars. And as soon as something like this happens on the track or starts to develop on the track, these guys are on the radio in a big panic. They're telling their guys clear high, clear low. They're telling them where to drive their car. If the dust and the smoke is flying, it's up to the guy that's spotting on the backside to get his car through the place without destroying it. And once again, these guys have done a real good job of making sure nobody else gets collected in this. And we have the 21 and the 99 car. 99, a little bit of body damage, right front fender hanging quite bad, and the 21 following right behind him. Minimal damage, and we're going to carry on. Looks good.
Well, Junior Kelly has gone into the pit area. He's still in his car, as we can see. We got a great vantage point of the pits here from our booth here, but they're doing some work around the tire area. Oh, he's taking the belt off. I think he's, I don't know if he's going to get out of his car, but unfortunately he has gone into the pit area and he's unbuckling. Maybe we'll see him out there for the future. Hopefully his pit crew is really looking over that car right now, checking out, look what would be the tires. I don't know if he's got some bad tire wear going on there or not, but we just saw a replay on the screen there of that little crash, I guess we could call it there. But as you said, Al, that was great calls by the spotters on that there. And as you can hear, you got the extra earpiece there inside our headset. So it's a great advantage for us here at TVMB to have that little extra edge for the people at home, know what's going on behind the scenes. As you say, with the spotters, a lot of people don't realize what's going on here to MASCAR. MASCAR runs very similar to a NASCAR as far as, you get your spotters, they got their guys all over the place out there talking to their drivers, and it's just a lot of teamwork going on there from the pits right straight out to the driver. It's a really phenomenal operation.
Well, it's certainly a team effort on behalf of all these guys, but after that little skirmish, you see the front rows changed, and I believe Art Steves gave them a rolled up green, so we're going racing the next time around. The pace truck has gone to the center field.
So we see in the front two are Dave Potter, and we do have some good advantages here, but we got some bad ones too. The number 15 car, Scott Alexander. And we're back to racing again on the first qualifier as Dave Potter takes the lead. Right behind. Oh, we got some bumping going on here with Scott Alexander and Dave Potter. Scott Alexander said, "Get out of my way. I want to get by here." There could be some finger pointing going on here.
Okay, yellow flag must have come back.
Yellow flag, yes, the yellow flag has come back out again as we have a number 88 car in the center of Chris Hughes.
No, just
okay.
88 of Chris Hughes, yes. What must have happened here, and we're at a pretty poor vantage point as far as seeing Art Steves on the flag stand. I believe that somebody must have jumped the restart.
I think Dave Potter jumped the restart on that one there because he really took off. Here we have a replay of, what do we got coming here now? Nope, I guess it's not a replay, my mistake.
Okay, just got the line up there, Barry.
Yeah.
But what's happened is somebody's jumped the restart, so they're going to line guys up, and they're going to make sure it's a good fair start.
Here's the replay here. As we're trying to figure out exactly what happened here. Oh, we had a little bit of bumping going on in the back of the pack. And a little bit of nudging going on there with number 88, obviously, Chris Hughes. So great work by our camera guys there to catch those there. But obviously, Scott Alexander and Dave Potter were doing some bumping there, and I don't think you get to see that, Al, but nope. You're on one side of the wall here and I'm on the other, so I'll get turn 1 or 3 and 4. You get turn 1 and 2, I guess. So.
Yeah, thanks a lot. You give me the one with the sun.
You got the glasses on, I don't.
Yeah.
So anyway.
They're going green next time around. Pace truck to center field, so these guys, Art Steves is calling for them to square it up and to be serious about things, and they're ready to go racing. Tonight's race here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, at Oyster Bed Raceway Park, I should say, is sponsored by Parts for Truck. And we'd like to thank them very much for sponsoring this event here tonight. Great crowd on hand here tonight. It will pick up as the evening goes on, obviously, but almost a full house here tonight, which is great to see. But the Islanders, sorry Al, the Islanders always seem to support their local sporting events, and
it's great to see.
They're great fans here in PEI. They like their racing and they like MASCAR. So we're honored to be here and be a regular part of their tourist season.
As we see, the pace truck is back out again. So after we just saying it was in the infield, it's back out again. Art didn't like the way they were lined up, and I guess they had to change some positions around there.
Yeah, they're moving the 99 car up a spot, and Art's going to the track surface to make the adjustment there.
Obviously, things aren't lining up the way he wants them done out there. So great job by the MASCAR spotters to pick these things up, and they want to have a fair race out there. They want anybody to get an advantage. And
the officials want the 88 car at the tail end, and they're going to make sure that that's what happens before things go racing.
Yeah, I don't think he's too happy about it, but kind of glares at some of the track officials and carries on along his way.
These guys are seasoned veterans. These track officials, they're no different than the guy that wears the striped suit at the hockey games or anywhere else. They get pretty thick skin, but they're really the best in the Maritimes at what they do.
Well, you have to respect them, like you say, as anybody in hockey or an umpire in baseball or anything like that. And there was an incident down in Halifax where that wasn't, the driver didn't obey them, and fine. You're going to have to suffer the consequences, pay the $500 fine, and unfortunately, that could have went for parts or for body work or something on your car. But
that's right. That was just foolishness.
Well, it
didn't need to happen.
Exactly, and maybe he's not a rookie by no means, but he should have had a little more respect. But anyway, enough said. We will carry on.
Here we go.
As we are getting the green flag from Art Steves, and we're getting back to racing on the first qualifier here at Oyster Bed Raceway here in Prince Edward Island, as we have a car going off the track into turn number 1. Can't quite see because of the sun who it is, and we have the bumper hanging off the number 99 car of Greg Seward. I don't know if he's going to get, we're going to have to go to probably a yellow flag here, I don't know. Art's kind of looking things over to see. He can't see into that turn either. Number 15 car, Scott Alexander, is in the infield. Number 52 car is back out onto the track. I guess that's the one who went off the track. So
last lap, white flag is out. The race director, Doug Daly's decided no more to the foolishness. He's going to go and he's going to finish this show. This is the way the guys want to perform. This is what they'll get.
Exactly. I think Scott Alexander was hoping for a yellow flag there. He just kind of sat in the infield. But no yellow flag. There's the checkered flag is out.
Number 6, George Koskulix takes the checkered flag, I believe, in qualifying heat number 1.
I'm glad you got your tongue around that one, because I always have trouble with that Koskulix guy. Holy gee.
Just don't ask me to spell it.
Well, I think I can probably spell it better than I can say it. I think it's a Koskulics, I believe. Yeah. So that's about as close. And I didn't even look at the sheet here.
Have crib notes there. Check that one.
Yeah, yeah. See, I can spell it better than I can say it.
That's George.
George's a great guy, and that's your winner right there, going around the track with the checkered flag, George Koskulix, and the number 6 car.
George is another guy that is running out of his pocket basically this year. He's got one sponsor on, which is his own fishing boat. He's a fisherman by trade and or by profession. And George certainly could use any financial aid that anybody might want. He's got a nice big new enclosed trailer, lots of billboard space, and he's a very, very capable driver. And in the past, he was one of the 3 GM Goodwrench cars that was with MASCAR for a number of years when GM was our corporate sponsor.
The number 88 car, Chris Hughes, stopped to talk to Art Steves and ask him, obviously, probably, why was I put to the back of the pack? And Art, gladly talked to him. And Chris didn't spin away or anything, so it must have been reasonable.
He understands. Everybody's in, so there's no point in getting in a panic about things.
Yeah, exactly. We're getting ready now for the
heat number 2. Yeah.
Qualifier number 2 here at Oyster Bed Raceway Park here in Prince Edward Island. As I said earlier, it's been a beautiful day here, and a lot of sunscreen's been slapped and slopped around here. So, but it is it would be similar to the Daytona of the NASCAR over here on the island, I think, by times when the weather is nice. But in the wintertime, it's pretty nasty over here, that's for sure.
I know what you're talking about there, Barry. My kids played lots of minor hockey over here. I know I froze at every rink on the island.
Well, I was lucky. I followed the junior team out of St. John, and we got to play at the Civic Center. So we had a heated dressing room, heated rink, and could almost walk around with shorts and T-shirt on there by time. So it was really nice, but we had to wait on the ferries. That was when the ferries were running, and it was kind of a real mess by times trying to catch a boat. And you get the guys off the ice and into the dressing room. Sometimes you have time for a shower, sometimes you wouldn't. And
makes them fun to travel with, doesn't it?
Well, you got to catch 11 o'clock boat at night, boy. Yeah. You really scramble to get up there, and if it's snowing out, you hope the bus driver's really got the experience under his belt. So, as the cars are going around the track a couple of times here, as we get ready and then warm up the tires, we get things underway here as the number 7 car, Byron Bartlett, is going to take, I guess, the pole position in this qualifier number 2. Art, or Al, you can just kind of give us a rundown on each driver here as you can see them.
Byron Bartlett out of St. John, New Brunswick, followed by Chris Duncan, also out of St. John. Both cars out of are owned by Bob Duncan. Bob Duncan's Auto Repair. The 7-car of Byron Bartlett, sponsored by Fluid Technologies. A little hard here in the sun. We got the Rick McCracken car, the number 71 out of Fredericton. Rick is really in dire straits as far as sponsorship goes right now. He's got a couple of people helping him out, but they really could use some more. Get Dave Gorvette in the 77 out of Sherwood, PEI. The 48, Dave Oblinus out of Salisbury, New Brunswick. The 44, the Oval Outlaw, Wayne Smith out of Timberlea, Nova Scotia. The 35 of Brad Mann, making a trip all the way from Tide Head, or for those of you that don't know where Tide Head is, how about Campbellton, New Brunswick? Brad's second trip out with us, and he had a top 10 finish in Fredericton a couple of weeks ago. Next to Brad is the number 24, Scott Livingston out of Charlottetown here in PEI. And picking up the tail end, the man who has won 3 features in a row, the 97 Zenith Chrome car of John Fleming out of Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Definitely the hottest driver out there on the track here tonight, and a lot of drivers are trying to catch him, but I think he's going to be easily caught here tonight because I don't think he's had enough time to fine-tune that automobile, and obviously he can't run the same way that he did in Shediac because we have an altogether different racetrack here. As Byron Bartlett was telling me earlier, he said it's one of the roughest tracks in the circuit, and it's very hard to drive on, and you got to really watch what you're doing out there. He said, of course, as any other racetrack, you have to watch what you're doing too, but this one here, just a little more exception to that rule.
Well, we got everybody crossed over, but we still got a crew on turn 2. I guess they're working on their rock collection, maybe. This is stuff that was spit out on the track by the couple of spins and cautions that were in qualifying race number 1.
And by the way, that is a pretty looking rock out there. It's all red everywhere you look around here. And as I had a chance to stop at Gateway Village, I had to come off the Confederation Bridge, and I had a chance to take a look and see why this soil is red, and it's apparently full of iron, and once it reaches the surface and gets wet or whatever the case may be, it oxidizes and turns into rust. So basically it's a rusty sand.
I'm really glad that they have that little mall at the end of the Confederation Bridge, because I slept in the parking lot there last night. I was lucky to make the haul over the bridge. I was beat, so the wife and I just kind of pulled in and set the motorhome in the back parking lot, and we snoozed right there. So
you caught the last boat, and that was about it.
We caught the last boat. Yeah, you got that right. Yeah.
Yeah, there used to be a joke all the time about trying to catch a boat. But anyway, I think we're going to get ready for...
Rolled up green has been shown, and we're going to go racing next time around. So we got Byron Bartlett and Chris Duncan, a couple of St. Johners leading the pack.
Byron Bartlett is quite happy with the way the car is running today. He had some problems in Fredericton. He had the wrong size pistons, and just really was running maybe a street stock car. He definitely wasn't running a MASCAR that night for sure, but he didn't finish, and unfortunately he called it a night. But he's in 11th position now in the point standing, so that's fairly respectable for a fellow that's had some problems.
Well, Chris Duncan showing some power early, but he's got Dave Gorvette on his tail.
That's one of the local boys, one of the 3.
Yeah. He's going to have to watch his low side now. Dave's in underneath him.
Dave Gorvette, a second place finish in Shediac last week, and he's got Wayne Smith, sorry, looking on the inside there too. So we got a real dogfight going on for first, second, and third.
Wayne Smith was the quickest car in practice all afternoon. He was down in the 14.6s, and he's pedaling her. Now Dave's car's a little bit of a push on it. He drove it in there, and she slides up the track. So if he doesn't look after the low side, boys, he's going to drive right on by him.
And I think that almost happened coming out of turn number 2, as Wayne Smith did take a peek there. I think second time around, he's taking a look on turn number 4 here. As across the start-finish line, it's Dave Gorvette.
Dave Gorvette's got the horsepower. Wayne Smith's got the chassis. So it's going to come down to driver versus driver here.
This is very similar to football when the receiver's got to guard that ball and keep it tucked in, or you're going to get it knocked out. This is what's going to happen to first place here if Dave doesn't watch himself.
Yeah.
Byron Bartlett has dropped away back in the pack, so obviously he may be having some problems there. He's going to be down into last place right now and started on the pole.
Chris Duncan, meanwhile, is holding his own. He's up in third spot. He's there kind of by himself, so... Chris was having problems this afternoon too. Looks like he's got most of it pretty well sorted out.
Following right behind him is Dave Oblinus, and right behind Dave Oblinus is number 71 car of Rick McCracken. Number 35, Brad Mann. And John Fleming has moved up a couple of places, but not where he'd want to be.
John Fleming used the bumper on Brad Mann there a little bit on the 35 car. Got to move him up the track to get him on the low side. You're not going to pass here pulling out there. He's going to get Brad Mann coming out of 2.
I think a little bumping coming out of turn number 2 there. John saying, hey, I won 3 in a row. I'm going to go for 4. Get out of my way.
Well, John's looking for a starting position. As I said earlier, every time you pick up a spot in this race, it counts to where you start in the feature. So besides points, it's also very important to get where you're going.
As we have the white flag out, one more lap to go.
Oh, there's the...
Here comes the checkered flag. Who's it going to be? I have Dave Gorvette on that one, and Wayne Smith finishing second. And the number 71 of Rick McCracken. Boy, did he ever move up in the pack.
Rick was flying there at the end.
Oh, Byron Bartlett spins out right in front of flag stand.
Chris Duncan took a fourth, followed by John Fleming.
Boy, John Fleming really come up in the pack there, so he's got a choice of positioning there.
I think I made a mistake there, Barry. I think the 48 of Dave Oblinus was just ahead of John Fleming.
Okay.
But they're going in. They're looking to take tire temperatures on John Fleming's car to see what they have to make adjustment-wise for the next time around.
The local boy getting a hand here from the crowd, and it's nice to see, and I know he's really wanting to put on a fine showing here tonight because, like I say, one of the local guys, and there's 3 of them in the pack, so these guys will have a chance to take their pick as to who they want to cheer for. But I think that the heads-on favorite right now would be Dave Gorvette after finishing a second last week in Shediac.
Well, Dave Gorvette, we got to remember, past MASCAR champion. You don't win MASCAR championships by being a slouch. Dave Gorvette is a quality racer.
Well, he's what we would call a seasoned veteran.
He'll put a show on for you no matter what, and he's out there to win. So you got to hats off where they're due.
Well, we're going to have to wrap it up for this now, and we'll be coming to the feature very shortly. And I'm Barry Johnson with Al Robinson from MASCAR, and this is MASCAR Tour 1999 on TVMB Sports.